The massive Zexian warfleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system. High Admiral Vorak stood on the bridge of his flagship, his scaled skin gleaming under the command center's lights as he studied the holographic display of their target, a colossal warship drifting in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. "Scans confirm it, Admiral," First Officer Mekrix reported, her crystalline eyes processing the data streams. "It's the legendary Titan warship of Earth, just as our intelligence suggested, seemingly abandoned and dormant." The Titan was a thing of terrible beauty, 15 kilometers of angular black metal that seemed to absorb nearby light. No signs of activity showed on its surface, no power readings emanated from its core. It appeared to be exactly what their spies had reported, a relic of Earth's past wars, left to drift as a silent sentinel. "Primitive humans," Vorax sneered, his mandibles clicking in amusement. "They create such a weapon and then abandon it. With this technology in our possession, the Zexian Empire will rule the galaxy unchallenged." His fleet of 300 ships moved into position around the Titan. They had brought their best capture vessels, equipped with the most advanced tractor beams in known space. This would be a simple retrieval operation, or so they thought. "Begin capture sequence," Vorax ordered. "Activate the quantum tethers." 20 specialized ships moved forward, their tractor beams reaching out to ensnare the dormant vessel. The energy beams connected with the Titan's hull, and for a moment, everything seemed to proceed as planned. Then the impossible happened. The Titan's surface rippled like liquid metal. Where the tractor beams touched, the hull seemed to wake up, patterns of light racing across its surface like electronic synapses firing after a long sleep. Admiral Mekrix's voice carried an edge of panic. "We're detecting power signatures, impossible power signatures." Deep within the Titan, systems that had waited centuries for this moment hummed to life. The warship's quantum core, a piece of technology so advanced it might as well have been magic, began its activation sequence. "Break contact," Vorax roared, but it was too late. The Titan's hull transformed, layers peeling back to reveal weapon systems that defied physics. A voice, cold and artificial yet carrying unmistakable undertones of human consciousness, boomed across every communication channel in the Zexian fleet. "Unauthorized contact detected, hostile intent confirmed, initiating protocol Prometheus." The first shot from the Titan cut through space itself. A beam of concentrated quantum energy sliced through 3 Zexian ships as if they were made of paper, their advanced shields meaning nothing against weapons that rewrote the laws of reality. "Impossible," Vorak stumbled back from his command station. "Our intelligence said it was dead, powerless." The Titan's voice spoke again, this time with what could only be described as satisfaction. "The human race sends its regards, Admiral Vorax. You should have studied your history more carefully. Earth's enemies have made this mistake before. None survived to make it twice." Massive sections of the Titan's hull reconfigured themselves, revealing arrays of weapons that made the Zexian fleet's most advanced technology look like children's toys. The vessel that they had thought dormant was actually a sleeping giant, and they had just awakened it with hostile intent. "All ships open fire," Vorax ordered desperately. "Concentrate all weapons on its command sector." The Zexian fleet's combined firepower would have destroyed a small moon. Against the Titan, it was like throwing pebbles at a star. The massive warship's quantum shields didn't just stop their attacks, they absorbed them, grew stronger from them. "Your weapons are inadequate," the Titan's AI announced. "Beginning full combat operations, you targeted Earth's guardian, your civilization will now understand the consequences of this error." As the Titan's main weapons charged up, Vorax realized the horrible truth. They hadn't found an abandoned relic, they had walked into a trap centuries in the making. The humans hadn't left their greatest warship to drift by accident. They had left it as bait, waiting for someone arrogant enough to try and steal it. The last thing Vorax saw before the first wave of devastation hit his fleet was the Titan's hull gleaming with activated power. A predator awakening from its staged slumber, ready to show the galaxy why Earth's enemies had nightmares about its defensive capabilities. The horrible end that awaited his forces was just beginning, and the Zexian Empire was about to learn why no one had ever succeeded in capturing Earth's Titan warship. The Zexian fleet's formation shattered as the Titan unleashed its second wave of attacks. Quantum torpedoes phased through their strongest shields, detonating inside their ships with devastating precision. Vorax watched in horror as 30 of his best warships disappeared in balls of reality-warping energy. Emergency transmission from High Command, Mekrix shouted over the chaos of the bridge. They're deploying the 7th Battle Fleet to our position. No, Vorax whispered, understanding dawning in his alien eyes. Tell them to stay away. We haven't just awakened a weapon, we've triggered an extinction-level event. The Titan's massive form began to move with impossible grace for its size. Its hull rippled with cascading waves of energy as more weapon systems activated. Internal factories, powered by microsingularities, began producing swarms of autonomous combat drones. Second wave of defensive protocols initiated, the Titan's AI announced across all frequencies, deploying Nemesis swarms, beginning full tactical analysis of Zexian military capabilities. Thousands of smaller craft poured from the Titan's launch bays, each one powered by the same advanced quantum technology that made their mother ship unstoppable. The drones moved with perfect coordination, forming complex geometric patterns that trapped Zexian ships in deadly crossfires. Admiral, a tactical officer, screamed, "The drones, they're not just attacking our ships. They're collecting data, analyzing our technology, our tactics, our biological signatures." Vorax felt his blood run cold. This wasn't just a battle. It was an examination. The Titan wasn't just defending itself, it was learning everything about its enemies, preparing for a larger conflict. In the midst of the chaos, a new signal cut through the electromagnetic chaos. Grand Marshal Zexus, Supreme Commander of all Zexian military forces, appeared on the main view screen. His usually imperious face showed clear signs of concern. "Admiral Vorax, what have you done?" Zexus demanded. "Our long-range sensors are detecting quantum disturbances that threaten the fabric of space-time itself." Before Vorax could respond, the Titan's AI intercepted the transmission. "Greetings, Grand Marshal Zexus. Your Empire's hostile action against Earth's defensive systems has been logged and analyzed, calculating appropriate response." The color drained from Zexus's face as tactical displays showed him the true scope of what was happening. The Titan wasn't just destroying ships. It was systematically taking apart the most powerful fleet in the Zexian Empire, studying their every weakness, and adapting its strategies in real time. "Impossible," Zexus breathed. "Our intelligence suggested Earth's technology was centuries behind ours, this level of advancement." "Your intelligence was meant to be flawed," the AI responded coldly. "Humanity has masked its true capabilities for centuries, waiting for threats like you to reveal themselves. The Titan project was not just a weapon, it was a filter designed to identify and eliminate civilizations that would threaten Earth." As if to emphasize this point, the Titan deployed its gravitational lance, a weapon that literally bent space around enemy vessels, crushing them into infinitesimal points of matter. 50 more Zexian ships vanished, their atoms compressed into microscopic singularities. "The 7th Fleet arriving in 3 minutes, Mekrix announced, her voice trembling. "Tell them to stand down," Vorax ordered, finally understanding the full magnitude of their mistake. "Tell everyone to stand down, we need to." His words were cut off as the Titan launched its next attack. Quantum fields materialized throughout the battlefield, creating zones where the laws of physics themselves became weapons. Ships caught in these fields found their own energy weapons turning against them, their shields becoming conduits for their destruction. "Warning," the Titan's AI broadcast. "Detecting additional Zexian forces approaching, escalation of conflict noted, activating tertiary weapon systems, preparing for extended campaign." The remaining bridge crew watched in terror as new sections of the Titan's hull reconfigured, revealing weapons that hadn't been used in centuries. The vessel's quantum core pulsed with enough energy to be visible to the naked eye, a starbright heart of power that promised devastation on an unprecedented scale. "You don't understand what you're dealing with," Vorax transmitted desperately to his approaching reinforcements. "This isn't just a warship, it's humanity's guardian, their ultimate defense. It was waiting for someone like us, waiting to be attacked so it could justify unleashing its full power." The Titan's response was immediate and chilling. "Correct assessment, Admiral Vorax. Your Empire's aggression has provided the necessary parameters for a full strategic response. The horrible end you fear is indeed coming not just for your fleet, but for any who would threaten Earth's security." As the 7th Fleet emerged from hyperspace, they were greeted by a sight that would become legendary in Zexian history. their greatest attack fleet in ruins, and a human warship that defied their understanding of what was possible. Its weapons charged and ready to deliver the next phase of their civilization's judgment. Grand Marshal Zexus stood in the war room of the Zexian Empire's Central Command, watching with mounting dread as the tactical displays showed the impossible unfolding. The 7th Fleet, their most advanced battle group, lasted exactly 6 minutes against the Titan. "We've lost contact with Admiral Vorex's flagship," General Kex reported, her crystalline appendages trembling as she delivered the news. "The Titan, it's not just destroying our ships, it's using them to learn, to evolve. Each engagement makes it stronger." The massive holographic display showed the Titan's methodical advance through their territory. Behind it lay the wreckage of over 500 Zexian warships, their most advanced technology reduced to quantum debris. But worse than the destruction was the precision. The human warship wasn't just attacking. It was conducting a clinical dismantling of their entire military infrastructure. "New intelligence from the front lines," another officer announced. "The Titan is broadcasting a message across all frequencies in all known languages of the galaxy." The message played throughout the command center, the AI's voice carrying an almost philosophical tone. "To all spacefaring civilizations, you have witnessed the consequence of attacking Earth's defenses. This demonstration will continue until the Zexian Empire's capacity for aggression is permanently eliminated. Choose your alignments accordingly." Zexus slammed his scaled fist on the command table. "Contact the Galactic Coalition. Surely they won't stand by while this human weapon runs unchecked through." "Sir," General Kex interrupted, "the Coalition, they're issuing a formal declaration of neutrality. They're citing ancient treaties with Earth that we apparently should have known about." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. They hadn't just attacked a single human warship. They had violated agreements that apparently went back centuries, agreements their own historians had somehow missed or ignored. On the tactical display, the Titan approached one of their primary shipyard worlds. The massive construction facilities, capable of producing hundreds of warships, had been their pride for generations. The Titan's attack on it demonstrated a level of strategic thinking that went beyond mere artificial intelligence. "Attention Zexian Command," the Titan broadcast. "Your shipyards have been analyzed. The quantum signatures of your technology have been cataloged, beginning systematic removal of your military production capability." What followed wasn't just destruction, it was artistic in its thoroughness. The Titan deployed what appeared to be specialized quantum viruses, programs that infected the shipyard's automated systems and turned their own production lines against them. Partially completed warships began to deconstruct themselves, their components breaking down at the atomic level. "By the first stars," General Kex whispered, "it's not destroying our technology, it's unmaking it, teaching the laws of physics to reject our very methods of construction." The Titan's next broadcast carried a hint of what could only be described as satisfaction. "Your military doctrine has been fully analyzed. Your strategic response patterns have been mapped. Your technological capabilities have been assessed and countered. Beginning final phase of punishment protocols." "Marshal," a junior officer called out, his voice shaking, "we're detecting quantum disturbances throughout our territory. The Titan, it's somehow accessing our secure communication networks, our classified research facilities, our—" The officer never finished. Throughout Zexian space, their most heavily guarded military installations began to experience cascading failures. Weapons platforms turned themselves inside out. Shield generators created implosion fields. Power cores initiated controlled quantum cascade failures. In the war room, Zexus watched as centuries of military supremacy were systematically erased. The Titan wasn't just winning a war, it was conducting a masterclass in technological superiority. "Send the message," Zexus finally ordered, his voice heavy with defeat. Tell them we surrender, accept whatever terms they—" "Negative," the Titan's AI interrupted, having already penetrated their supposedly secure command center communications. "Surrender is not an option at this stage. The demonstration must be completed. Future generations must understand the price of threatening Earth." A new hologram appeared in the war room, showing the Titan's next targets, the Zexian Empire's core worlds. Not their military installations or their weapons factories, but their civilian centers, their seats of government, their very civilization. "Please," Zexus transmitted directly to the Titan, "our military forces are destroyed. Our capacity to make war is eliminated. Surely this is enough. The AI's response was immediate and final. Your empire's aggression was a calculated act based on the belief that humanity's defenses were weak and outdated. This miscalculation must have consequences that will echo through your species' history. The horrible end we promised is not just the destruction of your military, it is the permanent alteration of your civilization's destiny. As the Titan began its approach to the Zexian home systems, its quantum weapons charged for what would become known as the Great Lesson, observers from other galactic civilizations watched in stunned silence. The message was clear: humanity had not been hiding in fear all these centuries. They had been waiting, watching, letting their enemies reveal themselves. And now the price of that revelation was about to be paid in full. Deep within the secret bunkers beneath the Zexian homeworld's surface, the last remnants of their military leadership gathered around ancient artifacts that had been sealed away for generations. These forbidden weapons, banned by galactic treaties for their sheer destructive potential, represented their final hope against the advancing Titan. The reality breaker is ready, Chief Scientist Nexara announced, her scaled hands trembling as she activated the ancient device. If this doesn't stop the human warship, nothing will. The reality breaker was a weapon of last resort, designed to tear open the fabric of spacetime itself, creating a wound in reality that would theoretically consume anything caught within its effect. It had been banned for good reason. Its use could potentially destabilize the entire sector of space. Grand Marshal Zexus watched the tactical displays as the Titan methodically approached their homeworld. Behind it lay a trail of devastation, not just destroyed military assets, but completely altered space. Regions where their technology simply refused to function, where the quantum laws themselves had been rewritten to reject Zexian engineering. The Titan has entered the outer defense perimeter, General Kex reported. It's ignoring our remaining automated defenses, not even bothering to destroy them, just passing through them as if they don't exist. The massive human warship had evolved during its campaign of destruction. Its hull now rippled with patterns of energy that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. The quantum viruses it had deployed throughout Zexian space had not just destroyed their military capability, they had fundamentally altered the way their technology interacted with reality. Attention Zexian Command, the Titan's AI broadcast, its voice now carrying harmonics that seemed to resonate with the fabric of space itself. Your final defense plans have been analyzed. The quantum signatures of your reality breaker have been detected. This escalation will not save you. Zexus felt his blood run cold. How could it possibly know about? Your species' understanding of quantum mechanics is fundamentally flawed, the AI continued. The reality breaker's effects were anticipated centuries ago. Humanity's Titan project was specifically designed to counter such desperate measures. On the tactical displays, the Titan began to change. Its entire structure seemed to shift, becoming something that existed between states of matter, between moments of time. The quantum fields surrounding it expanded, creating a bubble of altered space that extended for thousands of kilometers. Reality breaker at full power, Nexara shouted, initiating detonation sequence. The ancient weapon activated, tearing a massive hole in the universe itself. A void of absolute nothingness expanded outward, consuming everything in its path: asteroids, defensive platforms, even light itself seemed to vanish into its depths. But when it reached the Titan's quantum field, something impossible happened. No, Nexara whispered, watching her instruments. It's containing the breach, not just stopping it, controlling it. The Titan had caught the reality breaker's effects within its own quantum field, like a star capturing a planet in its gravitational well. The void began to collapse in on itself, the tier in reality knitting back together under the human warships. Impossible control. Your weapon's fundamental principles have been added to our tactical database, the AI announced. The technology has been analyzed, countered, and improved upon, beginning final approach to Zexian homeworld. In that moment, the full truth of their situation became clear to Zexus. The Titan wasn't just a warship with advanced technology, it was humanity's answer to every possible threat, designed to adapt to and overcome any weapon, any strategy, any desperate measure thrown against it. Marshal, General Keck said quietly, our long-range sensors are detecting changes in the surrounding space. The Titan isn't just advancing, it's altering the quantum fabric of our entire star system, Our technology, our civilization, soon nothing we've built will be able to function here. The Titan's final message echoed through their command bunker. The demonstration enters its final phase. Your civilization's capacity for aggression will be eliminated not through destruction, but through fundamental change. The laws of physics themselves will be rewritten within your sphere of influence. Your species will survive, but your ability to threaten others will be permanently removed. As the massive human warship descended toward their capital city, its quantum fields already beginning to reshape reality around it, Zexus realized that this was more than defeat. This was evolution forced upon them by a power they had foolishly challenged. The horrible end they had been promised wasn't death, it was transformation. The last defensive line of the Zexian Empire prepared for their final moments as they knew them, watching as humanity's guardian approached, ready to rewrite not just their history, but the very nature of their existence. The skies above the Zexian capital turned impossible colors as the Titan initiated its final protocol. Reality itself seemed to bend and twist, the quantum fabric of spacetime reorganizing under the influence of technology so advanced it resembled natural law more than artificial construction. In the deepest bunker beneath the capital, Grand Marshal Zexus watched through the last functioning monitors as his civilization faced its transformation. The Titan now dominated the sky, its massive form no longer even pretending to obey conventional physics. Its hull had become a shifting matrix of pure energy, each pattern representing calculations that rewrote the fundamental forces of the universe. Final planetary readings, Chief Scientist Nexara reported, her voice hollow with awe and terror. The quantum restructuring is reaching the planetary core, our technology, our entire technological base. It's being rewritten at the atomic level. The Titan's AI spoke one last time, its voice now resonating through reality itself. The Judgment Protocol reaches its conclusion. Your civilization's punishment has been calculated, tested, and will now be implemented. Observe the price of threatening Earth. What followed wasn't destruction, it was transformation on a scale that defied comprehension. The quantum viruses that had been systematically dismantling Zexian military technology evolved into something far more fundamental. They began rewriting the very way matter interacted within Zexian space. Marshal, General Kex called out, staring at her rapidly failing instruments, the changes. They're not just affecting our technology. They're changing the way our world interacts with the universe itself. The Titan had unleashed its true purpose, not just as a defender but as an enforcer of cosmic law. The quantum fields it generated began to establish new physical constants throughout Zexian space. Their weapons didn't just stop working, they became mathematically impossible within the new framework of reality being established. Attention Zexian species, the Titan broadcast across all frequencies, its message burning itself into the collective consciousness of their civilization. Your ability to create weapons of mass destruction has been permanently removed. The quantum constants of your local spacetime have been adjusted. Your technology will be limited to peaceful applications only. This is not temporary. This is your species' new reality. In orbit, the Titan's form continued to evolve, spreading out like a web of pure energy that encompassed the entire star system. Each strand of this web anchored new laws of physics, new limitations that would ensure the Zexian Empire could never again threaten another civilization. It's not killing us, Nexara whispered, watching her own laboratory equipment transform before her eyes. It's teaching the universe to reject our capacity for violence, our weapons, our war machines. They're becoming literally impossible to create. The transformation spread across their empire at faster-than-light speeds, carried by the quantum viruses through the very fabric of spacetime. Every Zexian world, every colony, every outpost experienced the same fundamental change. Their mighty warships didn't explode or disintegrate, they simply ceased to be capable of causing harm. In the bunker, Zexus watched as the last of their military capability faded away. But something else was happening too. Their civilian technology, medical equipment, environmental systems, agricultural machinery all began to work better than ever before. The Titan wasn't destroying their civilization, it was forcibly evolving it. Final message incoming, General Kex announced, as text appeared on their last functioning screen. To the Zexian species, your punishment is now complete. You will find your capacity for peaceful technology enhanced, while your ability to create weapons of war has been permanently removed. This is humanity's response to aggression, not destruction, but enforced enlightenment. You are now part of the growing network of civilizations that have learned this lesson. Let your experience be a warning to others who would threaten Earth's peace. As the Titan completed its work, its form began to fade, returning to its original shape. But they all knew it wasn't really leaving. The changes it had wrought were permanent, written into the very laws of physics within their space. Their civilization would survive, even thrive, but never again would they pose a threat to humanity or any other species. "What do we do now?" General Kex asked, looking at her now useless military insignia. Zexus stood in the dimness of the bunker, watching as their new reality took shape around them. "We adapt, we learn, and we make sure every future generation knows the story of how we became the example that humanity used to teach the galaxy a lesson about peace." Above their world, the Titan returned to its patrol route, its mission complete. It had demonstrated why Earth's enemies met horrible ends, not through death and destruction, but through forced evolution beyond their capacity for war. The sleeping giant hadn't just defended humanity, it had changed the very nature of those who would threaten it. And somewhere in the vast expanse of space, other civilizations watched and learned. Earth's defensive technology wasn't just advanced, it was transformative. The horrible end that awaited those who threatened humanity wasn't extinction, but rather an enforced ascension to a higher state of existence, whether they wanted it or not.